Hello, Junior Historian. This video will teach you how to hand sew a simple stitch. From your unit box, you need your paper ruler, one piece of fabric, your needle, red thread, and a pencil. Grab one end of your red thread. Twist it between your fingers, pulling all the strands together. Feed this through the top of your needle. This part of the needle is called the eye. Pull just a bit of your thread through the eye of your needle until you have a little tail. So now what we have is our needle, our working thread, and our tail. Find the opposite end of your thread. We're going to tie a knot at this end as a stopper. This will prevent the thread from being pulled all the way out when we sew. We now have our needle, our working thread, our tail, and our knot. We're going to begin with hand sewing a straight line. Grab one piece of your fabric and lay your paper ruler on top. Using a pencil, make marks every ½ inch along your ruler. This is going to be your guide when we start sewing. Mark 0, half, 1, 1/2, 2, 2.5, and so forth along your ruler, just like I'm doing. We're going to start on the left side of our fabric, pushing our thread up on the first line and down into the fabric on the second line, then back up on the third line and down on the fourth line. This pattern will help us create even stitches. Grab your needle and find the back of your fabric. At the back of your fabric, use your finger to guess where the first pencil mark is. Carefully push your needle from the back of your fabric up through that first pencil mark, but be careful because the needle is sharp. Pull your thread all the way through the fabric, but be careful not to pull too hard or your tail will come all the way out of the needle. The knot we tied will help it stop at the back of the fabric. Next, find the second pencil line on the front of the fabric. Use your needle to push down into the fabric, out the back. Grab your needle from the back and pull the thread all the way through. And that is our very first stitch. Great job! Now we're going to do it again. Use your finger to try to guess where the third pencil line is. From the back of the fabric, use your needle to push up through the fabric. Pull your needle through the front of the fabric. We're going to continue this same pattern all the way across the fabric. Once your project is done, you will see that we just created a straight stitch. Feel free to practice this as many times as you need before moving on. Up next, we're going to use our new skill to sew a little pouch. Grab your second piece of fabric, fold it in half like this. Use your ruler and pencil to mark your lines again. They serve as a helpful guide while stitching. As a reminder, we have our needle, our tail, our working thread, and our knot. Starting at the folded edge of the pouch, we're going to push the needle from the back to the front of the fabric, creating our first stitch. Our knot will stop it at the back. On the front side of the fabric, find the second pencil line. Push the needle through the fabric. Grab it at the back and pull the thread all the way through. We're going to continue this stitch along one side of our pouch. When we get to the top of the pouch, we're going to need to tie off our stitch. To do this, push the needle through the thread of your last stitch, but don't pull it all the way through. Leave just a little loop in your working thread. Now guide your needle through that loop and pull it all the way out, creating a knot. Repeat this again to lock the stitch, and then cut your thread. We're going to do the same exact thing on the opposite side of our pouch. Starting in the bottom folded corner, sewing all the way up one side and locking the stitch at the top. Here is our pouch with 2 hand-stitched sides. Just to review, today you learned about a straight stitch and the parts of hand sewing. The needle, the tail, the working part of the thread, and a knot at the end. And you learned that you could use a straight stitch to join 2 pieces of fabric together. Hand sewing is a great skill to learn, and you're going to get better over time with practice. Thanks for watching, Junior Historian.